Hey, what's up, y'all? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. It's either going to be like the background is like so dark, and you hear everything but, or it's going to be like the between. So, I don't know. You got to let me know. But welcome to the computer. Doing this guy that's July 27th, and I am just chilling. Let's fly it. Out here in the forest. Actually, I'm in the bed. It's Harlem, way down here. I've walked this down a long time. That's not since I last watched the set. But yeah, something I want to talk about today include sending files. Talk about that, and I'll talk about that. Send some files. So I'll let that pass, because otherwise you definitely won't hear me. But if it ends up that like my voice is very low and your background is very loud, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Please let me know. So yeah, I also want to talk about this case of this. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Hopes20, for sharing the um, Kevin Mitnick keynote from Hope Conference. As hackers on planet Earth, as you know, Kevin Mitnick was a pretty prolific and famous hacker, passed away of cancer. He was fighting a battle with, I think it was like stomach cancer, and so thanks for posting that, so we can like people could check that out. You know what I'm saying? And there was a time, if you're of a certain generation, where the Free Kevin movement, Free Kevin shirts, Free Kevin stickers, that was like kind of like taking over the hacker scene, and it really, really meant something, you know. And Kevin Mitnick is famous not just because of being a hacker in a time when people didn't know what a hacker was, and it wasn't all over the news. We didn't read about breaches every other day like we do now, but also because he went to jail for hacking. Yeah, so that's another thing that um, that being that kind of like notorious. Um, did I know Kevin, ever meet him? I met Kevin Mitnick. Um, I wouldn't say like I knew him. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I'd be like, yo, I seen him around. Maybe it'd be more like that. You know. Um, and yeah, and so and I don't know. Like I think like it's important to know the history of hacking and our elders and all that good stuff, and like where this stuff came from, and who was there before us and all this other good stuff. So, I think like it's really important to have a moment of silence and a rest in power for Kevin Mitnick. So, wish you the best. I know like when you're around the scene long enough, you kind of get a reputation, or people like you or they don't like you, and people take sides or whatever. But death is one of those things there's no coming back from, and so people tend to be really respectful of it. I was talking to someone about kind of like John McAfee, who's also kind of like in that Kevin Mitnick kind of era of being famous and being a hacker and being on the run and having this like notoriety. Um, and yeah, I mean, like when he died, even though people had a lot of issue with that, him and they were like, well, John McAfee, and people try not to have any bad words for the dead. So um, same thing here. I think it was like pretty chill response from a lot of folks on, now that it's so fragmented on Blue Sky and Discord and Mastodon and Twitter and all that good stuff about Kevin. So thank you for posting that Hills20. I appreciate you so much. So yeah, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I was going to talk about this court case. I was going to talk about this court case with this Burgess family, Celeste, who's 19, and her mom Jessica, who's 42. Um, um, and the mother ordered abortion pills online to help her daughter uh, have an abortion. Her daughter was 17 at the time, and it was April 2022, which was like last year, and then they had a funeral service and a burial for the fetal remains after you know after the abortion. And I'm not sure how it's wild. Like, the mom faces very serious charges, not just for violating Nebraska's abortion law, right? But also for like concealing skeletal human remains. It's kind of like a weird charge. And her sentencing is going to be in September of this year. So we'll see what happens the next couple of months. The case is getting a lot of, you know, notoriety. And all of this happened. The incident, all of it happened before the falling of Roe. So all happened before Roe v. Wade, which was in June. It was the summer of 2022, last summer. You know what I'm saying? And the evidence of the case came from messages, Facebook messages that the mom and daughter were writing each other. And like, I remember I was like looking into this, and I don't understand how they became suspected of this. You know, they like they began looking into concerns that a 17-year-old had given birth prematurely to a stillborn, and that she and her mother had buried it. Like, where did that come from? It's such a weird thing. Like, I wonder, like, who called the cops on them, and like who led that, like how that investigation even started. Um, and you know, the police, they subpoenaed medical records is the first thing. So they subpoenaed the medical records of the teenager to prove that the teenager seemed to have been pregnant, right? Uh, and they said that the family said, oh, we tried to have a regular pregnancy, tried to do a birth in the bathtub, and the baby was born dead or whatever. Um, and I think it was when the police were interrogating the mother, the daughter, and someone who had helped them. This man who helped them. They asked her like, "What day was it?" Trying to get the details. And somewhere in that, she went to go check her Facebook, and that's what led to them subpoenaing Facebook and getting an access to their Facebook messages that revealed like the details of the case. And there's a very famous, powerful image in the courtroom of like a bailiff. Who's the police officer that kind of like secures the court space. The bailiff is this huge bailiff, and this like very small 19-year-old girl crying, kind of screaming out in pain and anguish at the camera. And I just can't help to think like how re-traumatizing this entire thing was, right? Like you have this very delicate and sensitive moment in your life. You make a personal decision, and all of it comes out, and you're like famous because of it. You're on the news, and on top of that, you're going to go to prison, and you're going to spend 90 days, 3 months, basically sentence. So so I think like that's pretty wild. Um, oh, you're asking how I know Kevin. Um, Hills 20. Just to answer your question, I go to a lot of hacker conferences, and I go to a lot of events and stuff. And Kevin Mitnick, when he got out of jail, really doubled down and monetized on a lot of things. He had his own security company, did a lot of media, did a lot of press, worked with a lot of companies, including I think like a very popular and anti-spam email protection security company called Nova4. A lot of companies use their technology and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't too hard to come across him if you're in the space. It's like, so I think like it comes from that. Also, it's the kind of person who like people crowd around. You look today at people like um, malware, tech blog, and hackers like that, and people just tend to be like they feel like an affinity and a connection to the story, so they just tend to like uh, just bring a lot of attention. A crowd will come and it's kind of galvanizing. You know what I'm saying? There's a question in the chat from Mad Dope Matic, and they asked, "Do I know of any organizations working to offer privacy, security education to women around the issue of abortion?" Um, I do. I know many, 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 many organizations that do that. I would say, like, just to point you to the ones that are the most above ground about it, because I don't want to, like, put anyone on blast, as would be like the obvious ones, like Planned Parenthood of America, PPA. They're out there, they're giving out information. It includes safety information, like privacy information, physical and digital, as people who work in the space know that, look, regardless of your viewpoint on this issue, there are some people who feel so strongly about it that they think nothing of committing an act of violence against a provider network, a patient, their family, etc. So it's really sensitive. I would say that, like, at the end of the day, Abortion Care Network, um, Planned Parenthood. There's, of course, Digital Defense Fund, who are really awesome folks in the space who, you know, support the reproductive rights and women's rights movement with, like, education, free resources, things like that. So, those are all things you probably want to check out. Yeah, I mean, like, what do you do if someone walks up to you and accuses you of this or anything like that? Well, the number one thing you do is, like, don't, like, get a lawyer. Like, don't talk to law enforcement. Don't talk to security forces when you feel like your rights are being at risk of being violated. The most important thing is to don't take any rash actions. And even if they tell you, like, well, why are you doing that? That's what a guilty person would do. No, it's what a person who knows their rights would do. And had this family done that, they'd be in a better place. Had the mom, the daughter, the person who had questioned them said, you know what, I'm going to go to a lawyer and learn about my rights and just talk to someone. I'm not going to let you in. I'm not going to discuss any details or aspects of this alleged crime. That would have been the first step to do. To go backward in time, talking to someone about anything that might be considered sensitive in open channels of electronic communication is never a good idea. So, Facebook Messenger does have an encrypted mode that would have, like, encrypted the message so it wouldn't have been available to Facebook to hand over, and that's called private chats. It's not the easiest thing to use because it's not the default. So you have to go into Messenger, you have to begin a private chat, but then it uses, like, an end-to-end encrypted technology that would have been saved. So, or had they moved off of Facebook and had this conversation on WhatsApp or Signal or Wire or any of the other Threema, any of the other encrypted messaging apps, they would have been in a better place. So, I think, like, those would have been good things for them to do. Of course, Dance with Burrito says, let me take Maddie's questions, put them on the board right there. So yeah, Maddie, those are answers to your question. Hope that's helpful. Dance with Burrito says, you know, don't talk without a lawyer. 1,000%. Don't do that. It's a big mistake. It's not, like, the jobs of the court is to decide whether you're innocent or not. But the jobs of this law enforcement is to enforce the law, to make arrests, to bring you in. And so, like, reasoning with someone or telling them too much, it's you're at the wrong place talking to the wrong person. And you're better off just, like, getting a lawyer and then doing it the right way. No matter what, big or small, you know what I'm saying? Um, you might think, like, oh, it's so annoying and time consuming. I'll just, you never know. You never know. Like, had they done that, a lot of things could have been different for this family. So that's a really important point. Let me see. Let me do a quick roll call. So yeah, sorry about last week. I wasn't around. We didn't do the stream. I wasn't 100% healthy, and I wasn't feeling well. And I also thought, like, maybe it makes sense for me to rest up and also plan because I've got a lot of stuff going on with Hacker Summer Camp starting up. That's we got Deanna Initiative, we have Squad Con, we have Def Con, we have Black Hat. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's all these different award ceremonies and things. So it's just a lot happening in Hackerland coming up. So it makes sense for me to be more 100% before I do anything. It just kind of, like, made sense for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. Also, really been working on a lot of the merch stuff, like the Crypto Harlem merch. So if you like the hat, you can get the hat. You know what I'm saying? CryptoHarlem.com. We're going to be launching some new merch, which is going to be cool, which is great because it allows us to have some revenue and keep doing what we do. Um, a thing that I wanted to talk about, like many of you know what we do, some of you don't. Let's quickly get into that. We make guides. Um, Next time we do the stream, I'm just going to walk through all the guides and explain like what is in each resource. I think it'll be cool to have that so you understand what's on the CryptoHarlem.com resources. Each of those guides is like researched and worked on, and the time it's published is like mwah, you know what I'm saying? It's like the hottest, so fire information, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't get it anywhere else. And we also make sure that we translate those guides to communities that need them. We recently translated our one sheet for activists into French. There's a lot of issues going on in France right now, and they'll be needing it and they'll be using it. So we do that. And let me tell you about it. You know, in France, they were deliberating on whether law enforcement should have the ability to just turn on your phone and just turn on your microphone and turn on your GPS and turn on your camera and turn on your all the other parts of it, and not just your phone, but also your laptop or any other electronic device. And yeah, it looks like that's going to happen out there. You know, like it's pretty wild that it's gotten that far. And even though the people on both sides, you know, people who are very conservative, people who are very liberal, people on the left, people on the right, they both have a lot of issues with this in France. It looks like this is going to be, and like, you know, in Paris, if the police would suspect you of a crime, they could just use your phone against you, and you're just basically walking around with this hot mic all the time. So, you know, that's that's not good. Speaking of the cops, here they come, hacker police. Always trying to ruin the fun, you know. What else did I want to get into? Hold on, let me see if I can do this roll call. Thank you for the props on the hat. Appreciate you so much, the Elixir. Boom. Thanks for your work. You know what I'm saying? In the chat, keeping everything the way it's supposed to be. Chill. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What else? It is a cool hat though. So if you want the hat, you got to get it. Oh hey. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Global currency, right? Hey man, I'm doing my live stream. Do you want to talk to them about global currency? I do a live stream on Twitch. I'm live right now. Here. Go ahead. Hold on.
I don't necessarily want to get up, but I'll tell them like this.
Okay, tell me.
One thing that
They
you
can hear
need
you.
to know
Okay.
is the future's here now.
Yes.
And now that the future's here,
Yes.
don't get left behind in the race.
Don't get left behind.
You have a chance.
Yes.
And don't waste your wealth, wasting your time.
Got you. All right, thank you. I appreciate you.
Global currency, you are the money, your thoughts, labor, and ideas are priceless. Do not waste your wealth.
Okay, there is. All right. You too. Global currency. There goes the global currency man over there. He didn't want to get his face on, but he gave me this. It says global currency. Because he saw the Crypto Harlem hat. I get a lot of reactions with the Crypto Harlem hat. People be like, "Oh, sweat crypto, yo, what do you know about Ripple?" And actually, strangely enough, I know a lot about Ripple, but that's not. I have to go through this whole thing where I'm like, well, we're 10 years old, and 10 years ago, crypto was mostly used for cryptocurrency and cryptology. I mean, not cryptocurrency, cryptology and cryptography and encryption. And that's what we do. We're talking about encrypting Harlem. We're not talking about Bitcoining Harlem. But, you know, I'm not ashamed or scared of it, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, it's really interesting. So I got the free pin for y'all for this global currency thing. I don't know. I have no idea what this is, so I'll check it out later. It's oh, look at that. I got a free hat. Look at that. I just got the global currency hat. Boom. So I have no idea what it is. I'll look into it. Um, but and you know what? It even has a little pin on the back. Thanks, global currency man. Okay, so it was worth keeping. I'll keep it. If it's not, Next time I pass someone who needs a hat in this ridiculously hot future of global warming, climate change, like what, I'll make sure I pass it to them. Hiltz was trying to share this article. Amazon agrees to $20 million fine for Alexa children privacy violations. Oh, that sounds all okay. So, and this wasn't Bleeping Computer, which is always a great news source if you're trying to find some stuff. So, Hills, I'll put it up for you. You know what I'm saying? It's so cool that at this point, y'all just kind of like, it's not my stream, it's our stream, and y'all are just like in it, sending me things that you're really fascinated by or news articles or whatever. Let me see if I can find this one. Okay, yeah, this was from July 21st, so it's super recent, and it's about the FTC and how Amazon has agreed to pay 25 million in fines for allegedly. It's not alleged. They definitely did that. Anyway, Amazon has offered voice-activated products and services targeting children under 13. Oh, that's all kind of wrong because we have a law in the United States called COPA, which is why every app is always asking your age, and it's the Children Online Privacy Protection App. And you're not supposed to save, record, and hold data that belongs to children. So if you're already marketing towards children and you know that the software, tool, whatever, app, toy, a child's going to use it, and you get data from it, you can't use that. You can't market that. You can't sell that. And so that's pretty wild. So thanks. And then unrelated, Ring is facing $5 million in fines in privacy violations associated with the doorbell. Because it's a security camera that's on all the time, and people who worked there were looking at the customer stuff, laughing and joking, and looking at other people's Ring stuff. You know what I'm saying? And hackers are also doing the same thing. Hackers are getting into Ring cameras, and they're like, "Look, you're giving someone a 24/7 on camera. You're not giving them the right privacy controls. That's bad. You should pay $5 million." But I don't know. I was reading this article about Ring and how they were on Shark Tank. And, like the Shark Tank people were like, "Yo, this camera idea on a door sucks," and then Amazon bought them, and $5 million is just a drop in the bucket. Amazon is just that's a slap on the wrist. Is the price of doing business. I wish that we had fines and fees that were wilder. To just like properly like penalize folks who know better and should care, right? So again, that's the Amazon story. Thanks Hills20 for dropping it about kids out here, just getting advertised toys and games and apps and tools that don't follow good privacy protection laws. And we know that the best privacy protection laws right now on the book, some of the best ones are the GDPR, which it comes out of the EU, the General Data Privacy Regulation, and also California's privacy law, right? Which is the California Privacy Rights Act. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, for real, for real. Dance with Burritos, you're right. I got to start handing out Cyberpunk reading list. What would be your first book on that list? I would actually put uh, um, uh, there's a musical of this thing. Um, man, Octavia Butler's like most popular book. I'm spacing, not Kindred. Um, um, Come on, I'm gonna remember. I cannot, because like I love cyberpunk 80s stuff like Neuromancer, all that stuff. Parable of the Sour, Parable of the Sour. Some Gibson. You got some Gibson on there. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Snow Crash would definitely be. I'll be handing out Snow Crash. What else would I hand out? Parable of the Sour, Necromancer, Snow Crash. Um, I really like the Damon. Like it's like about this computer programmer who wrote a piece of code that's always checking the news for his obituary. And it's like, if you find my obituary, then drop this logic bomb and like trigger this code that like makes computers take over the planet. It's wild. Um, but it was written by a software engineer, so I really liked it. Robopocalypse, which again is written by a computer engineer, so it's like I like that sci-fi and like you know dystopian future, but it's written by futurists or actual computer scientists, it just rings better because the stuff is very steeped in reality, which I really like. Um, what else do I like? Trying to think of any modern authors. Little Brother is great. I love Little Brother. So that's a great piece of young adult fiction. If you know in teenagers, it's a book to read. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. No, it's a good one. Trying to think like, what's my man's name? Um, it's a book series. So there's other books. Freedom, I think, is the other book in that series. Daniel Suarez. He wrote Damon, and yeah, I really liked it. It was wild. You know what I'm saying? And then Freedom is the next one. It's like the sequel. It's not. It's funny though when you read about tech. That's very up to the date tech when you're writing, and it's really so realistic. It's like you read that book 5 years later, and you're like, "What are they talking about? Floppy disk?" You know what I mean? It's like, yo, this doesn't age well because it's so perfectly relevant and so smart, but it just sounds like. And then they talked into their, BlackBerry phones, and you're like, BlackBerry phones, huh? You know, to really kind of like take you out. Suspension of belief. Yeah, Parable of Prophecy, now on its way to an opera. Yeah, I didn't see that opera. I can't imagine it, but there's a Parable opera. Oh wow, Dance with Burritos is talking about Little Brother and the whole series. Yeah, I mean, those are really good books, and they read really quickly. So like, if you have like a plane you got to catch, or you got a bus you got to ride on, or something. Cory Doctorow's young adult fiction stuff, it just kind of goes boom, boom, boom. It goes real quick. So yeah, you could probably read the whole thing. Trying to think like, there's Little Brother. Then there's like the other radicalized, yes, but what? Oh, I'm trying to remember the other ones. See if I can think about them. Homeland, right? Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think it's little. Oh, Attack Surface, right? Is that related to that? No. Yeah, it's Attack Surface. It's Little Brother, Homeland, Attack Surface, something like that. So, you know, yeah, but Corey, back when Crypto Harlem was a little younger, Crypto Harlem's like a 10-year-old baby right now. It's like, but back when Crypto Harlem was a little younger, Corey gave us some shine and wrote a really nice piece about it. He has like we had like a bunch of marketing materials and flyers. It was like Malcolm X in a hoodie, and yeah, he definitely gave us some love, and that's always cool. And since then, like I've met Corey a couple times, and he's definitely very opinionated, very focused. He definitely has his speaking points, and he knows what he's about, he knows what he's not about, and I always appreciate that. So that's always a good look. Okay, so what else did I say? I don't know if I could find it. I don't like when I'm doing this mobile. When I'm in, like when I don't have the machine and everything in front of me, I feel like I have less. Like I don't get the music going. I don't have, I feel like a little bit less, but at the same time, it's just part of it. Just part of it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find this. It was like a Boing Boing. I think it was like a Boing Boing article that he had written. So let me see. But one thing I want to talk about is some of the stuff we do, like the resources and guides. We also have our interns, which are teenagers. We train to be the next wave of like hackers who care, hackers who are going to make this planet better and leave it in a better place and really support their communities, regardless of what that means. Um, and we also teach adults who want to get into the cybersecurity business, the cybersecurity industry, how to do that. Like whether it's like starting with the Google cybersecurity professional path, then switching to Security Plus, and oh, you want to get into privacy, you should get the IAPP. There's a lot of certifications, and the cool thing is right now there's more jobs than people, which they'll tell you, but there's like some caveats there because these jobs that exist are not entry level. So it almost doesn't matter that there's more high level jobs than people because when you start your entry level, but there's ways, you know what I'm saying? There's level to the game, and there's there's ways to jump levels and level up and stuff like that. And we always try to help people because, these salaries out here for this type of stuff is pretty high, and it's life changing for people from marginalized communities who are looking out for their families and their communities. So it really is a good look. Um, and another thing we do is we do a lot of research, and we also do some cyber work for companies as a way to bring in revenue to help move everything forward. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. But before and after everything, we're anti-surveillance, we're hackers, we're activists, and we're here to use our skills to protect folks and make this world better. It's weird because there's so many groups out here talking about AI and talking about cyber and talking about, but who are you protecting, and who you riding with, who you riding against, most importantly, what are you against, right? You can't be for everything in this world, and we're very clear about that delineation, and we believe that it takes all people from all communities, from all spaces, if we are going to have any hope of pushing back against all this, technological treachery, really. Um, and another one thing I want to talk about is why why we do this. And it's easy to get burnt out. It's easy to forget why we do this. We do this for you. We do this for you. So the people who are hearing my voice and watching the stream, that's why. It's not easy. It takes sacrifice. It takes hard work. We've been doing it day after day, which is hour after hour, minute after minute for 10 years in this game, and we're not going to stop because there's a huge need for it now more than ever. It's wild. It's every year I'm wow, I never thought this stuff would be it's such a horrible place, but also in such a in your face, right? Such a big and important issue. And then each year it's even bigger and pales in comparison to the year before that. And it makes me realize, wow, people really are out here like that, like that family I talked about earlier today. They really don't know about their rights. They don't really know about their security. And there really is it's almost like a tug of war going on. And, it's like winner keeps all. It really is once the ground is seeded, it's really hard to get it back. So, while a lot of folks, their minds are focused on physical conflict in this world, fights and warring in Eritrea or fights and warring in Ukraine, there's another kind of battle that's happening inside, inside your computer, inside your phone, inside your day to day, about your own privacy and your own rules and your ability to be free. And we hope to give you the lessons on how to get free, and all the steps and tools, things you need to worry about, and things you need to learn so you don't have to worry. So, because we stay joyful, we stay hopeful. That's what we're about. So just wanted to appreciate you all for rocking with us and being part of this struggle, and just donating this time to hear my voice, and look into cryptoharlem.com and go to our resources and our guides and learn about protecting your privacy and learn about different marginalized communities and how data uh, it's just hitting them differently. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's my TED talk, y'all. I just wanted to share. um, let's see, what else did I want to get over? Yeah, I wanted to make sure we cover. Oh, oh yeah, my bad. Hold on. Let me move this. Let me move that so people who are looking at the chat can see what other people are writing. I'll just put it right there on my shoulder like a bird. It's Crypto Harlem in my hand. Look at that. So, yeah, let me move that. Yeah, you know, that's that. But yeah, it's a cool day. It's a beautiful day, and um, I'm probably just gonna spend the rest of it going for a little walk or something. You know what I'm saying? So I think I might just do that. I was gonna get into this whole thing about sending files, which I will. I guess I'll quickly talk about it. Um, but no, I think it deserves its own. I feel like I try to cram too much into one. Y'all have to let me know, but I don't like cramming too much things into one stream. I like the stream to have a clear beginning, middle, end. And I do think about it before I go on. I'm like, oh wow, I really want to talk about women's rights and abortion rights and the power of subpoenas and warrants and why end-to-end encryption is so powerful. So yeah, like, look, don't make regular phone calls. Don't make regular texts. Like, because the day you start using encryption because you need it, someone will be like, well, why didn't you make a regular call that day? Why were you all of a sudden encrypting everything that day? Were you up to something? So it just makes sense to just use the encrypted stuff when you don't need it. Use the encrypted stuff every day when you can with the people you can get to move to it. It only helps, right? It only helps because let's say you were that family we talked about earlier in the stream, and you're suspected of some kind of incident or some kind of crime or doing something wrong or just whatever, and you got ops against you. You know what I'm saying? Well, all eyes are on you, and then all of a sudden you start using encrypted stuff. It's just not your normal day to day. People can say, "Oh, well, what's with this behavior chain? Why do you do that for?" So, use Signal, use WhatsApp, use Wire, use Threema, use all those tools, but flip them around. You know what I'm saying? Like, use them to order a pizza, use it to invite your friend over to hang out. Like, just don't always use it when it's like the most dire, important thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, that's that. Okay, well, I think that's that. I don't know. Like, I don't want to. I normally try to go to two, but I'm trying not to push it, and I do want to make sure that I get stronger because Hacker Summer Camp is here. DEF CON season is here. SquadCon season is here. Deanna Initiative season is here. Black Hat Times is here, and it's gonna be no more of this lush, cinematic NYC East Coast vibes. I'm gonna be out in the desert where it's dry. Survivor of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? Survival of the fittest. So, yeah. So that's that. Oh yeah, it says this shirt says Cove 20 wants to know about the shirt. It says joy, art, music, New Orleans. Ooh, ooh. So yeah, it says, and so it says it's Jam Nola. And Jam Nola, if you ever get to New Orleans, it's a really dope spot. They got arts and stuff. And I was hanging out with this like super awesome human being who was like, yo, you guys know Jam Nola? Like, did all this research, took me out there. I was like, oh, Jam Nola is dope. So it means a lot to me, and it always makes me happy when I rock their shirt. Um, let's see what else here. Dance Burritos. Have you thought about adding video tutorials to the site? Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that. We are going to add video tutorials. I actually came up with this really cool video intro, and I'm going to be recording that content today for the first tutorial. The first tutorial is going to be about how to turn a Wisecam, which is a very, very inexpensive for the tech surveillance camera, how to turn it into a lot more tech for free, right? By flashing the BIOS, flashing the firmware, and taking over the hardware. So that's actually going to be the first one. So Dancer Burritos, I will, we'll talk about it. We'll put it out. And listen, we're on Discord. So if you're not on the Discord, just get on there. Just go to discord.gg/invite/crypto Harlem and just learn about all this hacking stuff. We'll drop the tutorials there first. They'll be on our YouTube. They'll be on TikTok. They'll be on our Instagram, which Instagram for Instagram. Think we don't love you because we don't post enough. So we're switching it up. We're putting a whole calendar up. I had a dope meeting with the interns. You know, Supreme Ease, one of our interns, is very gifted in video stuff. He really wants the time to shine. So I was like, yo, let's put this content calendar together. Let's start pumping out some videos. So it's gonna be a good look. It's gonna be hot. So can't wait. And it's gonna be step by step for the YouTube, and then like kind of super fast for the socials because people don't have patience like that. But I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna like it a lot. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I got for now. So peace. Stay safe out there. Remember, encrypt, 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 and join us on our Discord. Somebody write that into the chat. Discord.gg/invite/crypto Harlem. And yeah, I'll catch you. I guess Monday. Like, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this Monday stream. Like the Monday stream might be on its last legs. Monday stream might be an endangered animal. So yeah, just trying to figure it out right now. So, but if you're a real big fan of the Monday stream and you're like, I love the fact that you stream on Monday and on Saturday, holler in the chat. Let us know because yeah, it takes a lot to maintain it, and that energy can be put towards more video tutorials and things like that. So all good. All right, all right. Uh, EDLBNYTTY says peace, and peace right back at you. All right, y'all. enjoy these days. Stay cool. Protect yourself. Protect your community. Protect your privacy, and protect this planet. There it is. That's the linky link.